Hi, welcome to the channel and welcome to keeping your brush in good shape. Right, I'm going to take you through a little demo on keeping your brush in good shape. You've had your airbrush, you've abused it, and I've got an abused airbrush here. Believe you me, this has not been used for a long time. So it's got dried up paint in it, the needle's stuck in it, we've got a sticky trigger on the actual brush. So I'm going to take you through a little maintenance check on keeping your brush in good shape. The pieces that we're going to use today are nice and cheap. You can source these. I will leave some links in the description for you so you can have a little mosey over to Amazon and pick up some little cheap products that will help you to keep your brush in good shape. So the pieces that we've got: kitchen towel, nice and cheap, just pieces of kitchen towel. We've got some cotton wool pads. We've got a plastic container which can take thinners or a airbrush cleaner. I've got some thinners decanted in a little bottle here. I've also got some water for flushing through. We've got some cotton buds and we've got some little dentist sticks. We've got some of the Iwata Super Lube, and on this folded up pad here I've got a little bit of cutting compound like G3, 3M Fast Cut Plus. You could use Brasso, a metal cleaner. We've got a little bit pinched on there. We'll be using that in a moment. So the brush that we're looking at today is the Krios PS270. This has been on the shelf now for a while. I took the cap off and it's got a little bit of dried up paint in there. We've got a sticky trigger. It's not bouncing back. And the needle on this is really stuck in there, and we've got a lot of dirt on that needle. So hopefully you know how to strip your brush down. So I've got the needle out. Now the first thing we're going to do is give the needle a maintenance check. So check the front of your needle, see if it's nice and straight. If you've got one of the sharpening tools and you need to sort the needle out, straighten your needle out. But if you've not dinked your needle and it's all good but it's really dirty, the first thing you need to do, get your cotton wool pad, drop some thinners or airbrush cleaner, pinch your needle and just start working your needle through, cleaning that paint off, twisting as you go along. Be careful not to pinch yourself or poke yourself with a needle because these things are really sharp. So just slide your cotton pad through like that, nice and easy, and that will get your paint off. As you can see, we've got paint on there, so that's nice and clean. So the next little check you need to do on that, get your cutting compound on your pad, which I've got here. Same again, put your needle in and then just sit there and just start to twist and polish the needle up. Give it a really good clean up and you'll see the difference this makes. I've done a video on this, it's on the channel guys, on polishing your needle, and it makes it perform a lot better. So a little twist round like that. Couple of passes through and you will see how much dirt comes off that needle when you do that. So that just polishes your needle up, so that keeps your needle in tip-top shape, nice and clean, polished. So you've done that part, you can put that to the side. That's good to go when you come to assemble your airbrush again. Now you've got the rest of the airbrush. So we'll move on to the back piece. Get another cotton pad. I'll use the one I've used for cleaning with the first bit with the needle. Drop a bit more cleaner on and just give that a wipe over in some thinners or airbrush cleaner. It's absolutely fine. And pay attention to where the thread is. Just pinch around that thread and twist and clean off any paint that could have got into them threads. like that. Dry that off if you're using thinners or a cleaner. So that's the back of the brush, all nice, shiny, clean. You've cleaned all the threads, you can move that to the side. You've got your cap on this brush, so just give that a little wipe over, because you will get dried up paint in this if you're using it with the cap. So a little pinch around and a good clean, and there's quite a bit of dirt on that cap. This will just help, especially when because you get a lot of paint drying up around that edge of that cap. Nothing worse, you've got dry paint, you try and put the cap on to the brush, it won't go on right, it'll just be all lopsided. So just clean all around that edge, get any paint off. So you've done that, that's nice and clean, you can move that to the side. The next piece on this, pull back on that, and we can take that trigger out. And these triggers are quite fiddly to put back in. So you've got your little pin part of the trigger. Give that a little wipe over and a clean. So you clean that. Now, because this has got a sticky trigger, you've got to get it clean sort of inside that little gap there. So I'm just going to drop a little bit of water on, not thinners, because you don't want to put like solvent down this piece down here. Just drop a cotton bud in and give that part of the body down there a little clean up like that. And there is a little bit of dirt paint in there. Like that. Get your trigger, drop a little bit of super lube on that piece down there. Now this is the fiddly bit, getting this bit in. Sometimes these just drop straight in, and at other times they can be a pain. But that's gone in. And that, just doing that little bit of a clean down the bottom with a cotton bud and then dropping a little bit of super lube on the edge of that, that's brought your trigger back nice bit of spring. So that's working nice. Now we can move on to the front of the brush. So you can take your crown cap off, you could drop that in some cleaner, you can take the next part off, drop that. So we'll soak them in some thinners, drop a little bit of thinners in there. And then you come to the piece where you've got your front of the brush like this. Get your little spanner and undo a nail tiner. Take that little piece off there, and that exposes the front of the brush like that. And this is where you get your little pipe cleaner and just run that in the front like this with a little bit of cleaner on. Give that a little clean through like that, and you'll see the dirty paint that's in there. You can also now drop a little bit of cleaner and let that pull through. Get your cotton buds and just clean inside your cup down there at the bottom to get any excess paint. Another little push through and a clean like that. It'll flush through again. You can also put your finger over the front. A little bit of cleaner. Clean through with a cotton bud like that. Let that go through. If you are using thinners, keep your brush pointing downwards, because you don't want any thinners to go through and into this piece, because it will ruin your air valve piece in here. Give that a little clean. Now with this needle piece here at the front, the actual nozzle, you can get the pipe cleaner piece and just clean that through really carefully, like that, and then drop that back on the brush. And when you tighten these up with your spanner, you don't need to wrench it really tight. Just nip it so you just feel it bite, and that's more than good enough on the front. So that's your nozzle bit put back in with the spanner. That's cleaned. The front of the brush between that piece there and there, where it goes into the cup, that part's clean. The trigger is nice and springing up nice. So now you can put your needle back in. Now I would just drop a little bit of the iWater Super Lube on the back, sort of in the middle of the needle there. You can see that little piece on the needle. Pinch and just run your finger with the Super Lube up and down the needle. And that'll just put a bit of lubrication down the needle there like that. So when you slide your needle back in nice and carefully, it just glides in place. And that's really smooth now to the front. You can just see the needle popping out the front. Put your finger to the back. You don't press really hard and push the needle tight to the front. You just push it till you feel the resistance, and then just pinch the chuck up at the back. So that's the needle in, that's running nice and smooth. You're soaking your crown cap and the other cap in the cleaner. So same again, you can get a cotton bud, just give them a little clean through and a wipe off. Put that one back on like that. Then you can get the crown cap, give that a little wipe. You'll tend to get a little bit of paint on the prongs of the crown cap. Just give that a little clean through. Drop that bit back on the brush, like that. Put the body to the back, like so. Give the body a wipe down. Another little check. Clip it into the airline. I always tend to get a little bit of cleaner first. Just blast through with a little bit of cleaner. Then go in with some water. And that brush is running absolutely spot on. Mac valve's working nice. So there you go, that's a nice little maintenance check on your brush. Another little wipe over. Drop your cap on. And that's how you would keep your brush in tip-top shape, guys. Nice and easy. All your little pieces, nice, cheap to get hold of. Cotton buds are an absolute godsend. And the iWater Super Lube, I'd recommend this for your airbrush. If you own an iWater, you'll know what I mean, because you get this in the box, but you can buy this separate. I'll leave a link in the description for you where you can get this from, but this is a godsend, especially when you want to keep your brush in tip-top shape. So as you've seen, this brush has been on the shelf for months. It's not been used. It had overspray all over it, and now that's looking brand new again. It works really nice. And another little tip for you, if you've got one of these brushes, on the actual, where the trigger is there, drop a little bit of the super lube just to the back of that trigger, because you've got a little metal bar that sits up, there's the trigger, and it rocks on the back. So a little bit of super lube there at the back, and that just makes that trigger lovely and smooth. So I hope you enjoyed this video on keeping your brush in good shape. Follow them little guidelines, it will help you out, guys. It's worked for me along my career, doing what I've just done there. I do that with all my brushes, and they've all lasted and they all work still. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe, press that notification, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.